Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the business meeting for the City of Prattville. We have one public hearing tonight, and then we'll move into our regular council agenda. Earlier today, Councilor Boone announced that this morning's canvass meeting that she has a meeting out of town on Eastern Time early tomorrow morning, and she'll be traveling this evening. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilor Sanders. Here. Councilor Jackson.
Here.
Councilor Chambers. Councilor Merrick. Councilor Whaley.
Here.
Councilor Stritchett. Councilor Boone.
Having a quorum present, I'll read the public hearing item number 1. Resolution number 1 to authorize the mayor to have overgrown grass and weeds at 1142 East Main Street, aka 1157 Falk Avenue, 1385 Twins Place, 819 Wilberforce Avenue, 333 Janus Street, and 810 Martin Luther King Drive, abated and charge any incurred expenses for the abatement process pursuant to Chapter 46, Section of City of Prattville Code of Ordinances. Is there anyone present who wishes to speak in favor of this resolution? Hearing none, is there anyone who... Oh, I'm sorry. All right, come on up.
So I came a few weeks ago and mentioned that we wanted to do whatever we could to mitigate the risks of any individuals, particularly working class individuals, being harmed by these.
Excuse me, can you say your name and
Certainly.
address, please?
Brad Bulger, 109 Spanish Oak Drive. Yes, sir. So what I did a couple of weeks ago, and I've spoken with you and I've spoken with Councilman Jackson about this, is going through the list each week to check these properties, to make sure that it's not affecting, an individual directly, also making sure there's no unhoused persons in some of these abandoned buildings that might need care, or anything that we can do to reduce the liability on individuals. However, this week when I drove around, I noticed the first two, which is the same property, appears to be a commercial property that's been abandoned. And if someone has enough money to own commercial property here in Prattville, they have enough money to keep up with it. Totally fine with that. One of these streets was a military family that owned it years ago, but they have moved out, and the neighbors themselves all were saying that they were the ones that wanted this to go forward with. One of these is owned, and actually two of these, and I'm not going to say the addresses specifically because I know people watch these, and I don't want to call out any neighborhood. Two of these that are on the list, and I've spoken with both of y'all about at least one of these neighborhoods. The residents there, both of these properties are owned by out-of-state companies. One of them in Michigan, one of them is either Tennessee or it's California. I don't know who owns it now, and even the residents don't know who owns it, clearly, because I've heard 2 or 3 states. They're not from Alabama, though. And these are companies that come into our towns, they purchase up property with the intentions of letting them fall into disrepair so that they can get cheaper real estate around them. And they are doing nothing to beautify our city or keep it looking beautiful. And I would like to see in the future y'all take harsher, and I don't know if it's legal or not, but harsher penalties with some of these people. And I've heard from several of the residents, they've spoken with you, and that you are on board with getting these, whatever we can do. And if it requires something from the citizens, let us know, and we'll come up with a plan. We'll do something, but I want to make sure that no residents of Prattville are being harmed. But in this case, it appears to be a bunch of people that's got enough money to fix their properties up that are refusing to do so. And so I'm asking that y'all certainly vote yes on this.
Thank you. Is there anyone who wishes to speak against this resolution? Hearing none at this time, you're invited to stand for our Pledge of Allegiance and our invocation. The invocation tonight will be given by Councilor Whaley.
Bow and pray with me, please. Heavenly Father, God, we come before you tonight, Lord, just thanking you for the blessings that you give us each and every day. Lord, the blessing of life, the blessing of being able to get up and to breathe, and God, for the break in the weather that we've had here, the break in the humidity. God, we thank you for that. Lord, we just praise you for continuing to bless us the ways that you do. God, we just thank you that we were able to, as a free people, exercise our right this past week, and we had free and fair elections. Father, we thank you that we live in a place where we have the ability to do that, and God, where we're not persecuted and condemned under any authority or rule that's not ordained or sanctioned by you. Father, we pray that as we go into the business of this city tonight, God, that you have given us already clarity of mind and thought as we have reviewed each one of these items that require action tonight. God, we pray that as we go through this, that, Lord, if there's anyone here that wishes to address us or speak, we pray that they do so respectfully, and God, we pray that in turn we give them the respect that they deserve. We pray that you be with us now, Lord, and conduct everything we do so that it's honorable and pleasing to you. We ask all these things in the Son of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
And the previous public hearing is now closed. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Counselor Sanders. Counselor Jackson. Counselor Chambers. Counselor Merrick. Counselor Whaley.
Here.
Counselor Stritchett. Counselor Boone.
Having a quorum present, I call this meeting to order. The character trait for this month is loyalty, demonstrating commitment to others. At this time, we'll welcome any comments from persons present regarding tonight's agenda. Please state and write your name and address for the record. You will have up to 3 minutes to address the council.
John Lee Finnegan, 211 Deer Trace. I'm going to be talking on resolution number 3 on the consent agenda. And on August 19th, you passed 2 resolutions, one that gave the American Legion Post 122 the right to charge a $5 per vehicle parking fee, and that it stated that will make available accounting of all parking fees collected and report such amounts to the city council upon request. And the the Sovereign Grace Church was the same thing. It was a $5 fee and upon request. However, I looked at this resolution number 3, and I'm reading it, and it says, the Prattville High School Athletic Association has requested to create tailgate village and sponsor parking area and collect a fee for said sponsor parking area during the football season. And then it was resolved that they're going to approve and collect fees, and said fees are to be used for the athletic programs. And they should also keep an accounting of all fees taken in, how those funds are expended, and report such cost. One of the things that I'm questioning is there's no fee price in there. And I think that should have been in there. Also, I tried to find out who is the Prattville High School Athletic Association, and I went online and it said a comprehensive list of individual members of the Prattville High School Athletic Association is not publicly available online, but you can find their athletic leadership. I also called the high school. The athletic director didn't know. I know he's new, and I left a message for the principal to call me, and they didn't call me either, or call me back. So anyway, I just think that this resolution needs to have the fees in there, since they're talking about money, and it said the fees are to be used for Prattville High School athletic programs, not just football. So, I mean, that can be anything. And also accounting of the fees and how those funds are expended, and report such costs to the city council on a monthly basis. But I just think that it's very unusual that you approved the 2 and had the fees and just said when requested, and now this one. So I just worry about that. I see some concerning items that were not put in there.
Thank you, Ms. Finnegan. Is there anyone else? Hearing none. At this time, for our mayor report, Mr. Mayor, do you have a report?
Yes, sir. If I might ask for a point of privilege and ask Mr. Jeremy if he would come up and have the microphone. Here.
Good evening. Thank you all for having us. I'm Jeremy Piles. I serve as the chairman of Distinguished Young Women of Watauga County. Distinguished Young Women is a national scholarship program that promotes scholarship, leadership, and talent in high school senior girls. Participants in this program compete in scholastic achievements, interview, self-expression, talent, and fitness. This program seeks to improve the overall well-being of each participant while helping them learn how to be their best selves. I come before you today to introduce you to the newest Distinguished Young Woman of Watauga County and to thank the City of Prattville, its businesses, and citizens for their continued support for our program. Through their generosity, we were able to award more than $11,000 in scholarships this year. Leah Sowell is the daughter of Aaron and Stevie Sowell. She was recently named the 2026 Distinguished Young Woman of Watauga County. She earned more than $4,000 in scholarships, and she will go on to compete in the state program in January, which will be held in Montgomery. She plans to attend Mississippi State University, and she wants to become an occupational therapist. Leah is currently a senior at Prattville High School, where she is the captain of the varsity cheer team. She's a leader in Fellowship of Christian Athletes and involved in numerous other clubs. She's a member of First Baptist Church here in Prattville and has a heart for missions. Leah works with Abilities Gymnast at the Prattville YMCA and also with Young Tumblers at Defy Gravity. She's excited to represent Watauga County at the state program in January. So, Leah Sowell, everyone.
Good evening. Thank you all so much for having me tonight. My name is Leah Sowell, and I am truly honored to get to represent this county and with it this amazing city. This year is surely to be one full of amazing memories and awesome opportunities. I am so excited to see what comes with state, but also what I get to do to give back to this wonderful community. Thank you all.
I always enjoy this time of year when Mr. Jeremy brings some of our up-and-coming residents and supporters of this community. So, and Mr. Pro Tem, if I might continue that point of privilege and ask Mr. Harper, he'll come forward. Mr. Harper, just goes to show it's a small world. Paula Barlow knew him from many, many years ago, and many years ago, and he called up and asked us if we would work on a proclamation for a Chiari malformation disease, and I have the proclamation here, is where Chiari malformation is a serious disorder where the brain tissue extends into the spinal canal, affecting the cerebellum, which controls balance and coordination, whereas Chiari malformation can cause a wide range of symptoms, including severe headaches, neck pain, dizziness, balance problems, difficult swallowing, and other severe impacting quality of life of those affected. Whereas many individuals with Chiari malformation go undiagnosed for many years due to the complexity and variety of symptoms, making awareness and education critical for early detection and proper treatment. Where this affects people of all ages, including children, and many require major brain surgery, lifelong medical care, significant personal and financial challenges for patients and their families. Whereas increasing public understanding this disease can lead to early diagnosis, improved treatments, and better support systems for patients and their families. Therefore, as the Mayor of the City of Prattville, do hereby recognize September as Chiari Malformation Awareness Month. And if you would accept this, and we have it on our website as well. And we have a lady here ready to take a picture. Okay. Well, thank you. And again, thank you, and Godspeed for you. Okay.
Thank y'all for letting me come and get it.
Our pleasure, our honor. I'll close the gate right here. Counselor, I just want to welcome everybody back to 101 West Main Street. As you can tell, it's had a lot of progress made in here. We're not completely through with it. We have a lot of little punch lists that have to be taken care of. Our monitors on the side are not operational as of yet. We still have to install a clock and do some other things, but I've heard a lot of positive comments about it already, and so anyway, I think it's going to be serving this community for many, many years. But again, welcome back to 101 West Main Street, and also I'd like to recognize Patty Vanderwall. She's right over here, sitting beside Amy Hilliard, but just want to thank her and our chamber, as Patty's in attendance for them tonight, but I just appreciate their partnership and their interest in agenda item number 1 that's on y'all's tonight's agenda. Hopefully you'll be supporting that. But counselors, Sunday I was honored to be a part of the First Missionary Baptist Church. They celebrated 150 years, 150th anniversary. For a century and a half, this congregation has been more than a place of worship. It has been a cornerstone of our community, guiding generations, lifting families, and shining a light of God's love throughout Prattville. Councilman Jackson, you were in attendance. I believe that's your church. And but anyway, it was good to see you there, and everybody else that was there in attendance, because not too often that 150 years comes around for any establishment. Councilors, last Tuesday was wasn't just election day in the city of Prattville. I was privileged to welcome Congressman Gary Palmer and his team to Prattville for a tour of James Hardy Building Products. Our Prattville plant will soon be known as the largest manufacturer of fiberboard cement board in the world. Our department heads, finance department, and HR departments have been working hard in preparing the mayor's budget. On another note, sorry, ran from one line to the other. Our department heads, finance director, and HR departments have been working hard on preparing the mayor's budget. In reality, is actually the department head's budget for council review and consideration. The implementation of the new accounting system and a flood of public records requests leading up to the election had pulled time and resources away from the budget preparation. The updated anticipated timeline is that the budget will be presented to the council at the 9/16 meeting with a work session sometime before the 10/7 meeting. We hope to have a vote on the budget at the 10/7 meeting. Councilors, as we move into parade season, I just feel that with all the negative controversy about our parades, and these parades are really so important, and they're very much a positive staple in our community. It is my belief that we need to find a way for a third-party team to be able to manage the parade with the city of Prattville still doing the heavy lifting. I welcome council guidance and action if needed, but I believe that this is definitely one way to get politics out of that small town feel that we have so many people that come to town to enjoy, and sometimes it's best to find a way to get some of the politics out of it. But counselors, on another note, I'd just like to say that no system in the world is perfect, including the United States election system. Yet, despite its imperfection, it remains the best system in the world. Our recent municipal election may have had moments that were not in the keeping with the spirit of Prattville. This election is essentially now over. The votes have been counted. Now, more than ever, we need to repair the torn fabric within our community. As we move forward, I'd like for us all to stay committed to open and clear communication among ourselves and with the people we serve. By communicating, by continuing the transparency that has brought recognition for excellence in financial reporting, by treating one another with respect, by fostering dialogue, we can set a powerful example for a next generation. We can demonstrate that it's possible to address issues with professionalism and still live, work, and play together in harmony. Looking ahead to the next quadrennium, we have both the opportunity and the duty to heal any divisions and focus on collective progress. Let's show our community, and especially our young people, that this generation can rise above conflict, uphold transparency, and carry forward the spirit that we can disagree without being disagreeable. On another note, counselors, I'd like to invite everyone here to our 9/11 ceremony on Thursday, September the 11th, 2025, at approximately 7:40 at the Public Safety Building. And I hope everyone will be there, and 'cause that's a very, meaningful and very moving celebration that memorial that we have. On a closing note or notes, Friday Night's Lights, I believe, was a big success in Stanley Jensen Stadium. I'd like to thank our Parks and Recs, our Public Safety, and our Lions Club team. Thank you all, because the Lions Club, they've taken up tickets for many years, and then working with our superintendent and the athletic director, we're able to create additional 75 or so parking spots around the western side of the old kindergarten, or some of us still know it as the old Watauga County High School. But all again, Prattville 1, I will be having breakfast this coming Friday with Al Kelly, Mayor of Millbrook, and so I'm so glad the Lions won. But also on another note, when it comes to sports, Guardian Golf Tournament is September the 12th through the 14th, right here in Prattville, Alabama. We appreciate Guardian being such a corporate partner. Please find time to attend if possible. And we have some other activities going on in and around Prattville. And one bit of news that sort of came to me today is that with all the hotels that we have here, and we still have more being built, there's a shortage in hotels room. And so that's really a good thing. And that means that people see us for very many reasons, and I think safety is definitely one of those. Council President Pro Tem, end of my report.
I do, in regards to what you mentioned earlier, Mr. Mayor, about the parades and all, and it's under the Parks and Recreation Department, and I was thinking, Robert, listening to the mayor, do you think we could maybe set up a Parks and Rec meeting and maybe discuss about it? Or?
Yeah, we'll set up a meeting. I'll get with Director Carter and see what her availability is. Absolutely.
And also, I'll be giving this to our city clerk so she can attach it to the minutes, and we'll make certain it stays ready for the citizens of Prattville in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I had a question.
Yeah, well, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Jackson has a question.
Yes, sir. As far as the parade, are there other cities that are allowing third parties that you know of to manage the parades?
And I don't know exactly how to completely answer that, because I don't know all the specific details, but I do know, just for example, on the other side of the interstate with Millbrook, the Mardi Gras parade, for an example, that is not a city-managed parade. I think Millbrook does do, like I was talking about a little bit earlier, they do some heavy lifting there, but it is, and I don't know if a third party is the right word, but I'd be glad to look more into that as well. But it is not a city-managed parade.
Okay. And I kind of laughed when you mentioned about the First Missionary Baptist program on Sunday. I am a member, but, you know, during election season, sometimes we tend to possibly become members of other churches. So I might be on about 3 other church rolls.
Well, I did see you there Sunday, and I had a great time from 9:30 to 12:30, and I was very, very proud to be there, and you could feel the love. And, you know, and that church has done so much for this community, and and the pastor there, Reverend Gray, he's just such a great guy. Even though he doesn't live here, and for the record, I guess I did attempt to make him, and I think I did, I made him an honorary citizen of Prattville, even though he lives in another community. But he is just he's been with the church 47 years, and that speaks volumes. So, okay.
And Jeremy, if you're still here, I'm still a member of First Methodist Church, so you're doing a great job. At this time, we'll move into reports from councils on special committees. Councilor Sanders, Councilor Jackson, Councilor Merrick, Councilor Whaley, and I did not have any as well. Now we have the opportunity to create a consent agenda with resolution number 1 to authorize the mayor to have overgrown grass and weed at 1142 East Main Street, 1157 Falk Avenue, 1385 Twins Place, 819 Wilberforce Avenue, 333 Janice Street, and 810 Martin Luther King Drive, abated and charge any incurred expenses for the abatement process pursuant to Chapter 46, Section City of Prattville Code of Ordinances. Number 2, to declare the garbage and rubbish at 103 Guilford Lane public nuisance and authorize the mayor to abate and charge any incurred expenses pursuant to Chapter 46, City of Prattville Code of Ordinances. And resolution number 3, to ratify and affirm grant permission to Prattville High School Athletic Association to create a tailgate village and sponsor parking area and collect a fee for the 2025 football season. Do I hear a motion to create a consent agenda? We have a motion. Do we have a second? All in favor of creating a consent agenda, please raise your... We got to create it first. Sorry. It's okay. We're getting there. All in favor of creating a consent agenda, please raise your right hand. All opposed by a like sign. Now the consent agenda is before us. Do I hear a motion to adopt the consent agenda? Do I have a second? Is there any discussion on the consent agenda?
Yes. Let me see. Can we, since looking at this, and I thank you, Ms. Finnegan, for being here tonight and always giving us your opinions and some strong words and guidance. Since it doesn't state the fact, can we hold this until there is a fee amount? Or
Councilor Merrick, so what you would do is that would come off the consent agenda portion, and then you guys would take that up in the regular agenda portion, but you could take a vote to postpone it to the next meeting.
Okay, so that's a good question, and so I looked up what I could find initially. This was posted on the Prattville Lions football official page, and it was a direct post from the Prattville High School Athletics. It says it's excited to introduce a brand-new tailgate village as part of the game day experience at Prattville. 13 premium tailgate spots will be available in front of the Gillespie Center parking lot at no charge. There is a lottery-type thing that will open up Tuesday for people to submit to get one of those, but their post says it's at no charge, and I think sponsorships, okay. Because that's what I don't think the tailgaters themselves are going to, according to this post from the athletic department, the spots are free. And I'm not sure about the parking, if there are, that parking is at no charge, or, I know they have that parking lot and they're not charging.
Right, they have, and I've talked to Mr. Bourne, and I was under the impression there's no fee. Dr. Crockett, would you mind coming up front for just a second? You made a little something about the tailgate party, or maybe you don't. But if you can give it, if you can share some wisdom, since you're the guy here tonight, it's that I know you tailgate. So do you have any wisdom on that?
I can probably offer an opinion, and the opinion is only what I know to be true. The post, there's been a lot of changing of plan, and so I'm giving you an unofficial opinion based on the things that I've heard. I think there is a desire to have a paid premium tailgate spot, but I don't believe that plan is for this year, which is why they announced this week that the tailgate village would be based on the lottery system that Mr. Whaley just described. They did announce at the game Friday night that there was a sponsor that, well, I believe it was an insurance company that was a corporate sponsor for the tailgate village. That may be why, and again, this is the unofficial opinion, that may be why it's before you tonight, because it does sound like they may have, I'm using lots of vague language here, but they may have collected some revenues to put on the Tailgate Village, but it is not going to be charged to the individual tailgaters that are a part of that village. So that it may require some additional clarification. Again, I'm not the legal expert, but I would probably say if you have concerns about it, you should probably remove it from the consent and do a little bit more digging on it before you finalize it. That's my opinion.
Thank you for your help. And to remind everyone, a Friday night during a football game, that is a Taga Board of Education event. That is not a city-run event. It's a city facility, and the Board of Education has their event at that location. So, Tommy, what do you want to do?
So I just real quick, I'm pretty sure all of this has gone through the Parks and Rec Department. Is there a representative here that can answer that question for us about sponsor or?
I know Miss Carter is out sick. I don't know if is David here, or do you know?
David is here, but I'm gonna have to say that they don't have any knowledge of this as well. This is basically a high school, Prattville High School.
Right.
event.
Yeah. So like we'll have the city will have the grass cut. That's then the Board of Education will.
Withhold.
That's their event.
Yeah, I'm
So then you make a motion to remove it from the consent agenda. Andrew.
So someone other than the presiding officer needs to make that motion.
I make a motion that we remove this from the consent agenda.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a second. All in favor of removing this from the consent agenda, please raise your right hand. All not in favor by a like sign. And it is removed.
And just for clarification, when you take up the regular agenda, you'll need to take this up second if you want to postpone it to a subsequent meeting. Okay.
So now we're going to, all in favor of adopting the consent agenda, now please raise your right hand. That's removed. All opposed by like sign. And the consent agenda is adopted. We will now move into our regular agenda. Ordinance number 1, to authorize the mayor to enter into a lease agreement between the city of Prattville and various small businesses to operate in the incubator spaces located at 124 West Main Street. Councilor Whaley, will you introduce this ordinance?
Yes, sir. Whereas the city council of the city of Prattville works through and with the Prattville Economic Development Team to attract and retain economic development projects, and whereas the city of Prattville Economic Development Team has recognized the need for the development of a local business incubator focused on supporting small business interested in locating within the city of Prattville. And whereas the property located at 124 West Main Street, which can house up to 15 businesses of various sizes, brings an opportunity to focus on service and technology-based businesses. And whereas each entity would have a separate lease for operation through a graduated rental fee per square foot, a common area maintenance fee per square foot, and a utility fee per square foot, reflecting common area maintenance needs and common utilities being paid by each leasee. And whereas a business incubator is the goal for the Prattville community, the City of Prattville Economic Development Team will partner with the Prattville Area Chamber of Commerce for programming, small business committee work, and co-marketing and branding of the facility. Now, therefore, be it ordained that the City Council of the City of Prattville concurs that an incubator is an important step in the development of local small businesses and hereby approves the recommendations of the Economic Development Team. Be it further ordained that the City Council of the City of Prattville hereby authorizes the mayor to negotiate and execute lease agreements for and on behalf of the city, in addition to any and all documents and agreements necessary to effectuate the development of the small business incubator to the extent as permitted by applicable law. and to take all such further action as shall be necessary or desirable to carry out the purposes and intent of this ordinance. I so move.
We have a motion. We have a second. We have a second. By point of order, we must suspend the rules to vote on item 1. Do I hear a motion to suspend the rules? So moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, will you conduct a roll call vote, please?
Counselor Sanders? Counselor Jackson? Counselor Merrick? Counselor Whaley? Counselor Stritchett?
Yay. The rules are now suspended, and the ordinance 1 is before us and open for discussion. All in favor of this ordinance signify by raising your right hand. All opposed by like sign. And this ordinance is adopted. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our items. Oh, we're not done yet. Hold on a second. What you got, Michael? We've got to do resolution number. Oh, we do need to add that. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Read it in, please.
Sure. To ratify and affirm and grant permission of Prattville High School Athletic Association to create a tailgate village and sponsor parking area and collect a fee for the 2025-2026 football season. Whereas the volunteers and staff associated with Prattville High School have managed the parking in and around Stanley Jensen Stadium in the past, and whereas the renovations to Stanley Jensen Stadium have been completed, which created designated parking areas, and whereas the inclusion of designated parking places has lessened the need for volunteers to manage the parking area, and whereas the Prattville High School Athletic Association has requested to create a tailgate village and sponsor parking area and collect a fee for said sponsor parking area during the 2025-2026 football season, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Prattville that permission is hereby granted to the Prattville High School Athletic Association to create a tailgate village and sponsor parking area and collect fees, and said fees are to be used for Prattville High School athletic programs. Be it further resolved that the Prattville High School Athletic Association shall keep an accounting of all fees taken in, how those funds were expended, and report such costs to the City Council on a monthly basis. Mr. President, I so move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. All in favor of this, of passing this motion, of this ordinance? Any discussion on this ordinance?
I'd like to make a motion to hold it until the next meeting.
Okay. Is there a second? Second. Okay. All in favor of moving this agenda to the next agenda item on the next meeting, please raise your right hand. All opposed by like sign. And the resolution is moved. That concludes our items on the agenda this evening. The council now welcomes any comments from persons present. You have 3 minutes to address the council. Please give your name, write your name and address as you approach the dais.
Alyssa Brown, 2022 Summit Parkway. I heard concerns prior to our recent election about voter cards and potential voter confusion. As a concerned citizen, I decided to visit the Doster Community Center last Tuesday and observe. What seemed like a small matter at first quickly escalated into a far more serious issue than anticipated. I had a voter come up to me, mentally exhausted and emotionally distressed, saying, "Tell me where I'm supposed to go because I'm about to go home and not vote." She was one of 10% of voters who went to the wrong polling place due to their mailed voter card. The mailed voter card in question is this one. And if you notice at the top, it says vote at a Millbrook address. Okay? And then below that, it just says city. Just city. And then we have a Wetumpka address at the bottom. But just note, vote at a Millbrook address. Districts 1, 2, and 5 were the most impacted by the mailed voter cards. People were doing the right thing by looking and following their voter card and were still directed to the wrong polling place. I witnessed a couple with their baby leave without voting, and a mother with her 4 young children go to the wrong polling location due to the confusing information on their voter card. I saw individuals who
Ma'am, can I interrupt? Yours just back up just a little bit.
Sorry.
From the mic. Everybody can hear you. Sorry.
Okay. Do you want me to restart my whole thing, or? Okay. Okay, sorry. I saw individuals who needed the accessibility ramp at Doster avoid it because of the ramp's excessive length and intimidating design. Voters who were misdirected by their voter card had to use up extra gas and potentially take off extra time off work. The majority of voters at the wrong site had their voter cards and expressed confusion or concern about their information on it. So it took me maybe 5 minutes in Photoshop to fix this mailer. It would have taken significantly less time to do it right the first time. People are constantly reminded that voting is the strongest tool in a democracy, the moment when every citizen has a chance to shape the future and stand up for what they believe in. Yet many feel discouraged from voting or even intimidated. The police and sheriffs should be here to serve the people and uphold the Constitution, not to enforce the mayor's personal agenda. People often associate voter suppression with such blatant tactics like polls taxes, literacy tests, or grandfather clauses. A more modern means of suppressing the vote is influencing who has access to the correct information about where to vote. This opens the door to more plausible deniability and a lack of accountability. Whether or not this was intentional, we need to fix this. We need to ensure that voter notifications are customized to fit Prattville's local and county structure. Anyone is welcome to see me after this meeting to discuss this matter more. And if you have any more concerns about the signs, you can again see me afterwards, and I'll show them. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Rachel Bulger, 109 Spanish Oak. Good evening. And I serve as the treasurer for Prattville Deserves Better. I'm also a District 2 voter. I'm also here to speak about the voter cards. So I'm here to speak about the confusion that many residents in Prattville and across the state experience with the new voter registration cards mailed out before the election. These cards listed 2 polling locations, and a lot of people were confused about the layout and as a result arrived at the wrong polling locations to cast their vote. We had volunteers stationed to help residents on Election Day using the same online Secretary of State database that the city itself had recommended for voters in an effort to cut down on confusion and assist veterans, the elderly, the disabled, and working families trying to fit voting into an already long day. And a few examples of what we saw were District 7 voters shocked to find they'd been redistricted to District 1. New District 3 voters frustrated they'd be late for work after told their polling place had changed. 90-year-old voters in Districts 2 and 4 who had no idea where to go. For District 2 especially, many arrived at Doster only to be told they actually needed to vote at the Public Works facility. And surprisingly, multiple reports, including from Paula Barlow, that Prattville residents in Elmore County went to the Millbrook Civic Center when they should have gone to Heritage Baptist Church in Prattville for the city election. That detail was due to the formatting of the state-issued cards. It has become clear this was a state-level error in how those cards were formatted. There's little the city or county could have done about the cards themselves, but there is more that we can do together to make sure that our voters are educated and not left scrambling in the future. So Prattville Deserves Better have a few practical steps that we suggest together. So city website updates before every election, clearly posting the correct polling locations by district in a way that's easy for residents to navigate. Partnerships with community groups, organizations like ours are ready to help get accurate information out to voters. We can work together to distribute flyers, social media graphics, or even hold information sessions. Public announcements using city social media, local radio, and even utility bill inserts to remind residents of their polling locations. And lastly, maybe something like district-specific mailers. I know the state controls the cards, but maybe the city could send something out like a postcard, clarifying for a city election, district whatever votes at wherever, versus what the confusion was with all of that. This election did show us how it was very easy for people to get tripped up, confusing, all that information was a lot. So if we plan ahead and work together, we can ensure that every eligible voter in Prattville knows exactly where to go so they can exercise their right to vote without stress, frustration, or delay.
Thank you, Ms. Bolger. Ms. Bolger, ma'am, could I get a copy of that after this?
What's that? This? Absolutely can have that.
Or have yours? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. There's confusion. I'm sure, Jackie, we all saw it at our polling places. I had 4 or 5 people say just the right spot, and I knew 2 of them personally where they live. I said, you're not at the right spot. So I tried to send. I had a lady come up at like 6:57, and she said, "Is this for District 2?" And I said, "Who you voting for?" No, I didn't say that. I said, "No, ma'am, but you have 3 minutes to get there, and I apologize to where you're supposed to go." And I try to send her, but it's, like you said, is a state, redistricting. It was a lot of confusion. I know that Paula and her team have worked a tremendous amount of hours on this election, overtime, and with the office with county and state. So yeah, it could be cleaned up for all of us. We all had a lot of confusion.
And every vote does matter. and it's
Absolutely.
fair. It should be, every vote should count, and it matters not who we vote for, but that we have the opportunity to vote.
Amen to that. Thank you very much.
So along with going through a lot of, I'm Brad Bulger, 109 Spanish Oak Drive, sorry. Along with going through a lot of these neighborhoods, checking on the abatement stuff, I've gotten the opportunity, especially in a lot of the lower and working class neighborhoods, to be able to interact with some of these people and hear some of the other issues that they may have. And one of the common themes was that a lot of the people would love to participate in what we're doing tonight, but they do not have the ability to. Either they do not have adequate transportation, or they have a disability which prohibits them from traveling, especially at night. And I do not have an idea of what to do, but I want to bring that to y'all's attention so you know that there are a lot of people out here that want to participate in the democratic process that just don't have the ability to, and possibly finding something in the future to address that issue and help those folks get out. As far as the voter card issue goes, until just a day or 2 ago, I was totally under the impression that the cards were written and sent out by the city, and I aired my frustrations to a lot of people here, but particularly, Ms. Barlow, I want to apologize to you because I was very frustrated when I spoke with you, and that was unprofessional, and it was from a misunderstanding on my part, so I do apologize to you. And I also apologize for making a rude comment to you as well. And I'm willing to work with you in the future, but one thing I will not tolerate is a government that works against its people. I'm willing to work with anybody if y'all are serious about helping folks out and not just having a title. And if you love veterans, let's prove it. Let's get out there and help these folks. If you want to talk about helping poor folks out, let's get out there and do it. And there's a lot more stuff we can be doing as a city, and it's on folks like us to come up here and talk to y'all about it. But we expect results when we do. And I'm sorry that I sat out for such a long portion of my life not being involved in this, only to go, you know what I'm saying? So I would love to see, I know Marcus holds a town hall about once a year. I'd love to see it once a quarter, honestly. I would love to see those more often, and I don't know about the other districts, but if y'all ain't having town halls, do it. There's nothing wrong with getting out there, because like I said, y'all might be able to meet some people that have concerns and they want to share it with y'all, but they don't have any access to it. So that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Whaley had a comment.
Mr. Bolger.
Mr. Bolger.
Hey, real quick, just I appreciate the humility of being able to come up and to say when we're wrong. We all should have that, and every one of us should do it anytime that we're wrong. That speaks volumes, and for one, I do appreciate it. I did have some issues, even though I was not on the ballot. I had people call me from District 5. It is a Autauga County, Elmore County split district. And I had several people call me, and they could not understand that as well. I know that Elmore County Board of Registrars was really late getting those out. The first versions, we actually, through the clerk's office, said, no, we're not sending those. So they had to redo them with some improvement, but apparently it's not enough improvement. So I agree, there does need to be some more clarification. And I thank you for some suggestions that we might can look at in the future to help people to know where they vote, because everybody's vote is just important as anybody else's. So thank you.
Jackie Nix, 706 Running Brook Circle. Good evening. I would like to piggyback on the idea of getting community involvement. And the issue I want to raise is the suspending of rules and voting on the same day in the ordinance. And I am completely in favor of this ordinance, by the way. I am not opposed to it. But when we vote on it in the same day, we are preventing people from being able to get involved, to take a look at it, to give comments. As Ms. Finnegan had done before, she made comments to make the resolution better. So we are preventing that from folks who are maybe watching from home, who, with us not live streaming, they don't have an opportunity if they're not in this room with us. So I believe that unless it is a true emergency, we should not be voting on these on the same day. There's nothing that can't wait 2 weeks to get more involvement with the citizens. Because as I was going door to door, that is something that across the board, I don't care what their political leanings, everybody loved that, of being able to get more involved in things and be able to read up on it and do some research and contact their council persons to be able to give, input, yay or nay. So I would urge you going forward to not use the suspension of the rules unless it is a true emergency, so that we can start to build more community involvement in our political process. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Barbara Robinson. I live at 123 White Oak Court, Prattville, Alabama. And I would like to say congratulations to all incoming, newcomer, and I pray that this new session be better, be more people connection. Everybody has a job. If you have a position, that means the people that voted for you is that you're working for them, not on your personal incest. I'm just saying this because there's a lot of stuff been put on the back burner. And I think that we got to wait probably until November the 3rd or something, when everybody's sworn in to their position. Then I guess I can come back with my agenda for everything that y'all push back and half done or didn't do, need to be done. I just feel I'm praying that everybody, including the mayor, since he's an incumbent, we appreciate you. We want to see the firework exploding this time. And thank you for representing at my church. I enjoyed it. I appreciate you. But just like you, when you came and joined in with us there, our councilman coming in and fellowship with us, We want you to, all of you all, every council, even though North Highland is in District 2, but somebody in District 2 might be related to somebody in your district. Let's not half build up Prattville. Let us not have certain portions of Prattville looking dynamic, and then there's another portion look like, oh God, what they do, is this a puzzle that would just put in the mix? Let us, if we saying Prattville is a preferred city, let's make it all be preferred. I don't care what neighborhood it's in. We need to show, if we saying we want to get military peoples, all these out-of-town people, all these jobs, all these facilities, building, and construction jobs and stuff coming to Prattville, let it make it be what you say it is. Don't throw your rock and hide your hand. But just remember, if you living in a glass house, don't throw no stone.
Shane Caston, 410 Hallmark. Mr. Mayor, I'm going to start with you. I owe you an apology as well. I did. 410 Hallmark. You're good. Mr. Mayor, I want to start with you. I did not do my research on the Fairview Avenue project. That's on me. I apologize. I also apologize to you about the rescue squad thing. I came at you a little hard, and I apologize. That's on me. Also, to the other city councilmen that I came at a little hard, I'm sorry. That's on me. A lot of this I did not do my research on. I will start doing my research from here on out before I come up here and start throwing facts out. I just wanted to take the time and say I'm sorry.
My name is Jessica Hayes, and I'm at 1954 Chancellor Ridge Road, and this is Landon. I have spoken here a few times before. I've never really introduced myself fully. I've lived here since 2011, and I wanted to leave for about 12 years of that time of living here. I didn't get involved. I didn't know, Mayor, I don't even think I knew when you took over as mayor. I just remember that Mayor Gillespie showed up one day, and I wasn't involved. And I'm changing that now. I've been changing it because when we get involved, things change. One way we're doing that, and I'm somehow decided to do this, forming the group Prattville Deserves Better. I am the vice chair. We do have a PAC that's a separate legal entity, but we also are forming a nonprofit, a 501c4, which will allow us to broaden beyond just elections, because Prattville deserves better in every year, not just an election cycle. We will work beyond the politics, but also with the politics too, and focus on our long-term community impact and how we as residents can help make Prattville better, and partnering with everybody that we can. We want to serve those in need. We also want to help make Prattville better by increasing voter turnout, as we've talked about tonight, improving voter education, and creating those opportunities for constructive dialogue on complex topics that we've already had a few people who admitted that they've misunderstood, they didn't understand, and we can help build and foster those skills in our community through almost, I don't want speed dating type development skills where you go and you talk in 5 minutes burst about all these issues. But we're also interested in helping serve those in need. As Brad was saying earlier, our seniors, veterans, working families, families with small children, neighbors who do feel often not heard, and we can help do that. Y'all alone can't do that. That's not any judgment on any of you. You're just one person, even as a community. And it's hard to sometimes reach those in the community and let us help you. Thank you very much, and we hope that everybody will consider becoming a part of our group. Thank you.
My name is Daniel Woodfin. I live at 103 Sycamore Drive. I've stood up here many times in the last several weeks trying to get answers about the financial reports that have been given to me and provided on the website of Prattville. I'm having discrepancies between the use tax and the numbers I received. One of the reports shows a year-to-date use tax in September of 2024 on the unaudited monthly report of being just over $6 million. Your financial yearly report does not state it as being $6 million. I've received a public request information packet from Ms. Paula a few weeks back stating that the use tax for 2024 was just over $3 million. I have no idea why you have a discrepancy in your numbers. I have no idea why nobody is answering a question that I have. I have no idea why anybody will just ignore me as a citizen and not address the issue. I've wasted my time, I feel like, 4 times speaking because nobody contacts me. Nobody wants to address my questions. No one wants to, dare I say, do your job and address citizens' concerns. So with that said, I will continue being here. I'm not apologetic about anything I've said. I will continue to speak what I think are pure facts and state facts in a way that I think is as respectful as I can. But I'm very frustrated that I'm not getting any answers and that I'm getting nothing. And that's unacceptable to me, and it's unacceptable to the many people messaging me and encouraging me to continue speaking. By the way, this isn't just me. This is several people pushing me. So just think that my one voice is equal to many more. And I'm upset. I'm not stopping, and I will continue pushing this issue forward no matter what. So with that said, I respectfully ask for anybody to answer the question between the $6 million use tax and a $3 million use tax given the same time frame for the same number. Now, I haven't thrown any allegations or any elements of wrongdoing. I'm assuming I'm doing something incorrect myself and I have lack of knowledge, and I'm asking you to share your knowledge with me so I can have an understanding of how your financial reports properly function. I've done 6-minute videos, gotten several thousand views right here in the city of Prattville on just this one topic, and I promise you there's hundreds of people waiting for the answer of this question. All I'm asking is if you're loyal to the people and you're committed to the people, which is your word of the month, then I just simply request answer the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Woods.
John Lane Finnegan, 211 Deer Chase. Councilperson Merrick, thank you for moving that. I just saw that today because the packet was just posted today because of the holiday. And I've brought up before, it doesn't seem in this modern day and age that it can't somehow be posted on Monday holiday. I mean, we know when the Monday holidays are, and it just, it's bad enough that we only have one day to look, but to now have even the day of. So please check that. Also, I would like to thank Counselor Whaley when he brought up about the Sovereign Grace Church and the VFW about doing the litter. I walked home yesterday, and even in my neighborhood, somebody had thrown out a crystal bag that had it was just a mess. So I don't know, I've sent in a request for the fully executed agreements between the Sovereign Grace Church and VFW to see if anything is going to be said about picking up the trash. I don't think citizens should have to do that, especially the people getting the money. So now when we're doing the Athletic Association, I also think that should be included with them. I'll tell you, it's a mess. All you have to do is walk around this area. I walked down Main Street to my home, and it's appalling. So I really, really, truly feel that you need to put that in there for those three that are getting the fees. Also, this is a separate thing. Is there going to be a clock that we can see? I noticed that it said,
Yes, ma'am. We just.
I'm not seeing it?
No, you're not. Yes, Ms.
It
Finnegan,
will
it's
be
behind you.
installed
Yeah.
over.
Oh, it is. It's going to be over here?
Yeah, we're gonna clock,
Oh, okay.
and then these will work. So there's
Okay.
some punch list
Also,
items.
and going back to the agenda, please try to, and I'm hoping all of you are reading that material. I mean, if I can read it the day of, I think you can, and be very informed. And also, I ask that you watch the videos of the council meetings when you're reading the minutes. Because a lot of times you've approved minutes and they've been wrong. So please, watch the video, look at the minutes, and make, maybe make those corrections during the approval of the minutes. But again, thank you very much for holding that, and I hope that happens more often. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? If not, we'll move into our closing comments. Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. Again, glad to see everybody here. One of a few little changes we'll be seeing in the very, very near future. Right outside in the outer foyer, we have the bulletin board that the agendas and other items are put up, and we're looking to create another little bulletin board for some of our financial numbers. Some of the ones that we get, we're going to put those out there, and again in the outer area that's not locked during non-office hours. But anyway, so there'll be some little changes there. I know we have some changing going on with some of the software, so there will be some changing coming in the very near future. But again, thank y'all, and to Ms. Paula, thank you. I know you've, as like us elected officials up here as well, this last election, there was a lot, and I appreciate your hard work. So thank you.
Councilor Sanders.
I'll make it brief. Just want to thank Paula for the job she and her team did at the election. Congratulations, Wade, and I look forward to working with you for a smooth transition. Look forward to finishing out the last, 3 meetings to go. So it's been a pleasure, and I'll continue to do my part to work with each and every one of you for a smooth transition.
Councilor Jackson.
Yeah, I want to first just say wow. I admire Brad, Shane, other individuals that came up to apologize. That's mighty. Stand up of you guys to do that. We need to do that more often, and I said we because that includes me. But I think that's huge of you guys to stand up on this platform to admit your wrongs and apologize. And I think that's something that we can all look at and emulate in the future. Going back to some of your issues about the veterans, we definitely heard during the campaign think you and I were out in Candlestick, and I've been in some other areas where I did talk to several veterans and seniors that were asking for more assistance and asking for the city to do more for them. So I just think that that needs to be a focus. You know, we talked about the Candlestick area. There's some things that we definitely need to address with that area, but we need to look out for these people. We saw and spoke with an individual out there for about 30, 45 minutes one day. He had some very serious health concerns. You know, he's unable to come to these meetings because of his serious health concerns, and he's a Air Force veteran, retiree. So those are people that we tend to overlook, and I think we need to be intentional in trying to reach out to those people that we tend to forget or overlook sometimes. So I think we need to be intentional in getting out and trying to see about those people. Mr. Woodfin, I hope we can try to get you an answer to your question soon, because I think it's our duty to address those issues and concerns. So I think probably everyone up here will agree that we need to somehow get you a response to your answers, and that we shouldn't have to wait however long you've been asking for an answer. So we will try to address that. Ms. Barber, I know that you've been frustrated about North Highland Park, and of course that is priority number one for us moving forward. I know that there was a lawsuit back in 1970 where Ms. Sally Mae Hadnot sued the city of Prattville, and it was particularly about North Highland Park, and it stated that North Highland Park came down from the federal court stating that North Highland Park needed to be maintained at the same quality or same level as other parks throughout the city. So this was addressed in 1970. So this was an issue that we had actually been addressing since 1970. So that's when the lawsuit was, Hadnot versus the city of Prattville. It's out there, you can take a look at it. But those are the same issues. But again, I understand what you were speaking of and alluding to. So I think it's our responsibility to make sure that that park is up to the level as every other park in this community. So I appreciate you coming forward, but I appreciate everyone for coming out. I've talked to several of you throughout the campaign election cycle, and I see some of y'all here. So glad that you're here. Hopefully you'll continue to be here and hold us all accountable. Brad, you mentioned the community meetings. I started having community meetings in 2017 when I got elected, and we were having them about every 3 months. I got a little frustrated because the attendance was low, and so we were bringing it to the community. But again, it's our duty, but it's also your duty to be involved. So we will get back to doing those meetings, and we're going to ask for your involvement. PDB, you guys have done a tremendous job throughout this cycle of trying to inform people of who was elected, voting locations. Glad that it was brought to the attention that it was not Paula's issue. It was a state level. We had that conversation the other day, so I understand everyone's frustration because, again, I'm in District 2, which had 2 locations, and also we're in Elmore County, so I definitely talked with several people who had a card where it said vote at, and it's somewhere in Elmore County, but it didn't say, it should have been more specific saying city elections vote here, general elections vote there, so that was a lot of confusion. So I get it, I understand, but again, it wasn't on our ladies, but I appreciate the effort in trying to educate our people, and moving forward, I think we could do a better job. But again, thank you guys for being here, and we look forward to working with everyone moving forward.
Councilor Merrick?
No, sir.
Councilor Whaley?
Yes, sir. Thank you. First and foremost, thank you to the citizens that come out and bring things to our attention. Thank you for your passion. Sometimes we can exhibit difficulties holding back our passion. I'm guilty of that myself in certain areas, and that's fine. We can take that and learn from it. I appreciate the humility that several of you showed tonight, and I restate again that I hope that we are able to show that same humility and admit when we're wrong. So thank you for the employees here, Paula and Lexi, that worked so hard in having our elections, and for those elections to be carried off without a whole lot of issues. I know that there was some issues with the voting cards, and like I said, I heard that from some constituents in my area. Just in light of, since I was not on the ballot, I was missing that competitive feeling a little bit. So at the airport this past weekend, on Saturday, there was a Wheels, Wings, and Wawas charity event where there was a wing cook-off. And I forgot my chicken trophy, but I did win People's Choice for my garlic fried naked wings. So they were exceptional according to the people that ate them. They didn't leave me any to try. So, but I will have my chicken trophy on display later. Just to echo what the mayor said, I hope that moving forward we do have better internal communications amongst your representatives, and we're your representatives. The council is your representative by district. The mayor is your representative collectively, and there's no reason why there should ever be any question of as far as communication. Interagency communication. I look forward to us improving interagency communication. I appreciate the fact that the chamber is partnering with us for this small business incubator. They have the expertise to do that, and we have got to rely on our partners, our interagency partners, to do that, and I applaud the city for doing that as well. And then I think Marcus touched on the last part that I had was transparency in government. I do agree that the question has been asked several times about the discrepancy on numbers. I can barely balance my checkbook. I cannot answer the question on that, but there are people with a lot more education and degrees in finance higher than me that can provide the answer. So I want to know as well. If it's a simple clerical error, then let's fix it and tell everybody it's a simple clerical error. Other than that, I appreciate everyone being here. I look forward to moving forward. Thank you, Russ, for your being here and being with us. I know we got 3 more meetings left, and the Council President Boone, I've had this conversation with her. She's not here tonight, but I appreciate the things that I've been able to pick up and to learn in my 2 years here, and I look forward to continue working with the sitting council and working with the 2 that are oncoming council. So thank you. I have nothing else.
And from what I understand, in the next 2 weeks, Councilor Whaley will be bringing some of those garlic chicken wings for everybody.
Amen.
I mean, raise your hand if you got to try one. I mean, hey, anybody can go buy a trophy, right? All right, y'all. Hey, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for everyone who showed up and voted. You know, people put their name out there and on a ballot. It's not easy, y'all. It's not easy for anybody, winners, losers, whatever. So thank you for being a part of the democratic process to get out there and put yourself out there. And, you know, we've all been asked through the years, why do you do this? I wouldn't put up with all that. We do it because we love it. We do it because we're passionate about it. Are we perfect? Absolutely not. But I can't think of anybody I've sat up here with in the last 9 years that wanted to hurt this city or anybody in it. So we're going to keep on keeping on. We appreciate your input, and let's make Prattville the best city in the state. And I think it's very possible. So with that said, our next regular scheduled council meeting is Tuesday, September 16th, 2025 at 6 o'clock. Is there a motion for adjournment? So moved. Is there a second? We have a second. All in favor say yay. We are adjourned.